Grand Rising Powerful Beings. Planning for a prosperous November, y'all. Listen, you can make November about consuming or about family or about buying things for Christmas, or you could make November about productivity, reflection, and just like a way to not just look back, but plan ahead, right? So if you can have enough clarity during this season, rather when most people during winter is gonna be like, man, winter, sad, seasonal, you're gonna be like, nah, me, I got this. Why? Because you started to do the process of planning out a prosperous November. And I'm not just talking about planning out a prosperous November as far as how much money you're gonna make. I'm talking about prosperity in all aspects. Emotional prosperity, financial prosperity, prosperity within your family. So keep tapping into this episode if you want to tap into some of that prosperity, baby. That's what I'm talking about. So let's get it. So, what do I mean by planning a prosperous November? Most people, they're not planning their days. Most people, they're not planning anything. All right? And you're not most people. Okay? So, why am I saying that? It's simple. You don't have to feel bad about it. You don't have to feel like, yo, okay, I'm a coach. I'm supposed to make you uncomfortable. So, if you feel uncomfortable, good. I'm doing my job. I'm making some more uncomfortable today. If you want to feel some more uncomfortable, can I get I want to feel uncomfortable? Let's get it. You ready? Let's do some self-analysis here because this is important. Think about it. Every single day, where are you getting closer to? I want to ask you, where are you getting closer to every day? Somebody says, I'm getting closer to my dreams and goals, Ed. That's right. True. You're putting in the work. I believe it. But let me be a little bit more gruesome. And we're all adults. We could handle the realities of life, right? I don't have to sugarcoat everything for you, right? Here's the reality. Y'all want to hear it? We're getting closer to the grave. Somebody like, yo, what you telling me I'm about to die? Nah, I'm not saying that. I'm saying every single day you're getting older. This is a serious matter. I'm saying every single day you're literally getting older, and with age, what does that come with? It comes with the expiration of life. Does that mean that I should live my life rushing? No. But it means I shouldn't live my life stressing. It also means I should live my life being. It isn't like I'm rushing so I could get a whole bunch of things done before my time expires. It's that while I'm here, I want to make sure that I'm not stinking up the room. So planning for prosperity is like this. You want to be pleasant throughout the day. You want to be pleasant in November. Who want to be pleasant in November? Raise your hand if you want to be pleasant. Raise your hands. I want to be pleasant. But I'm willing to do the unpleasant things to create my pleasantness. Unpleasant things is discipline. Some people say it's unpleasant. It has become pleasant to me. Some things are unpleasant in the beginning because you have to build the habit of doing it. But then when you realize after you build the habit, you realize, yo, this is more pleasurable than I thought. Because you realize that the habit that you build is also building you. So planning for a prosperous November looks at, yo, I need to do a couple of uncomfortable things first by acknowledging the truth about my life. So that way I can live a comfortable month because I'm able to then take the action steps to change up what I don't like. Somebody said, yo, let me just say positive stuff all day. I'm amazing. I'm blessed. I'm amazing. I'm beautiful. I'm a divine king, divine queen. Great. Yo, do that. But shit, you got to look at yourself too and say, yo, I got something right here in my eye. Let me get rid of that. This is what healing is about. It's not all yo positive thinking. Yo, all that's available to me is going to come to me. No, it's not just that. We got to do some work. And that work comes with planning. So like I said, you gave me permission today to be uncomfortable, right? All right. So this month of November, here's an idea. And you could grab onto this idea. You can say, I don't want to do this idea. Make sure what you do is the product of your own conclusion. The idea is that you plan it out. You plan out your November. And what am I talking about here? I'm talking about, instead of saying, yo, I'm just going to go into this month, you're going to actually sit down with yourself and you're going to do an analysis. Now, at the end of October, I talked about the review. Because we're in the beginning of November, I'm not going to talk so much about a review, but let's assume you reviewed your October. All the things that you said that, oh, I can better improve this part of my routine, or I can better improve this part of my habit, or I can better improve this way of responding, you're going to now put it in a plan where you could do it. As well as the things you've been procrastinating on. Well, I could be better at producing more with my time rather than consuming. I can be better at getting the things done that I say I was going to do in a timely fashion. I can be better at. So planning, we're going to start thinking of what can we be better at this month that we wasn't doing so well last month. The reason why we want to do that is because we want to have a point to start off from the last point of reflection, so that way we could stop the continuous affliction on ourselves. Last point of reflection stops continuous affliction on yourself. And if you listen to this podcast, I love to play on words. But what I'm saying is, if you don't reflect, you're going to keep hitting yourself in the head with the same stick that should have been a lesson for you. But if you don't take the lessons and put forth those lessons in a way where you could apply them, then those lessons were meaningless. How about when you go to school, you learn a bunch of stuff, but then do you ever apply it? Once you don't apply it, you forgot what you learned. Same thing. So a lot of people want to know, why do we do all this talking before we even get to the actual planning? Because I need your mind to understand why you're doing it. The moment you know why, that's when you're going to get more enthused, more ecstatic to get it done. All right. So planning for a prosperous November, what does that start with? It starts with prioritizing your self-care. I done told you, prioritizing your self-care, and also make it a dedication to the opposite of what's been yielding you the negative results thus far. So what is the opposite of what's been yielding you the negative result thus far? Let's say the opposite of waking up late every day is waking up at a specific time earlier than doing what you have to do and having a rising routine to do so. That is very powerful. What else? Let's say you noticed that last month in October, you had a specific time frame where you tend to slack off. And for some reason, you just slack off during the time frame, and it just happens so repeatedly that, there's something that needs to be done about this. You're noticing patterns. There are cyclical patterns. Life runs in cycles, but you don't want those cycles to run you. What happens for most of us is that we let the cycles run us. So I need you to get in tune with your cycle. Now, a woman has a menstrual period every single month along with the lunar cycle, and that helps them be able to process their emotions. However, did you know that not just the emotionals that you have to process during the cycle, a man doesn't have that. Now, you might say, well, as a man, I could be in tune with the moon and I could look at the cyclical nature of myself. Yeah, of course. On the full moons, I always do an emotional release. And I use different tools to help me in that. It's because I understand how cycles keep coming up in my life unless I break the cycle and create a better one. Now, cycles are not necessarily meant to necessarily be a bad thing. A cyclical nature of reality, what that helps with, it helps with a continuity of life in a pattern that allows things to flow. So it's not a bad thing to have to be in the different cycles. But the thing is, you don't want to be in various cycles that is cyclical to the point where it's leading you to a life you don't want. You want to have cycles that you can be riding, like cycles of growth, right? Not necessarily cycles of perpetual same thing happening over and over and over. It doesn't work for me. I keep messing up my own life. Finances are good, then I spend all my money. Those cycles are not working. So we're talking about creating new cycles of evolution where different seasons you're going up to another level spiritually, financially, emotionally, with your family life. So that takes at looking back. So it's making a dedication, prioritizing your self-care. Why? I told you if you have stuck emotions, if you have a lot of anxiety, if you have fear, if you have worry, if you have depression within you, it's going to be very, very hard for you to do anything. Okay, so a lot of times we try to get ourselves to be more productive. We try to have a prosperous November, prosperous life, prosperous October, whatever month it is. We're trying to be prosperous in it, but we don't realize that we're depleted. And because of that depletion, you can't bring prosperity with a self that is drained. So you have to fill up your cup. You've heard this 1,000 times. So prosperity in November starts with the prosperity of your health. So you have to make a determined effort that, I'm going to prioritize my health. And this comes with what? Routines and habits. Health prioritization comes with routines and habits. You just have to analyze your routine and see what habitual patterns that's leading you towards the wrong path. And you make a determined effort to change them. But there are certain emotional states that's keeping you stuck in your habitual patterns. The secret is you want to be able to notice them. If you know this, then you can notice. If you don't notice what's happening, you can't stop or change it. So a lot of people want to know, what do I do? No, I need you to start noticing the cycles. So you want to have a prosperous November, starts with your self-care, but notice the cycles. Even, listen, before you got and started watching this podcast right now, you had a couple of cycles that you repeated, that you've been repeating for the last couple of years. What cycles have you been repeating the last 30 days? What cycles have you been repeating the last 60? What cycles have you been repeating the last 90 to 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, a year, 3 years, 6 years, 12 years? So if you find out that you have a cyclical nature to yourself, and you're like, around November, I always experience this. I'm about to tell you secrets that are not secrets, but people are not conscious of it, so it became a secret. If you just look at your last November, you're going to be, I'm telling you right now, if you haven't been as conscious as you want to be yet, as in noticing it yet, I promise to you that if you look at last November, you're going to see that this November, certain patterns are coming up that happened last November. If you can pinpoint what happened and what led to those patterns, you can know how to train yourself to not repeat them again. And you can also see what triggers got you in them. So why do I say that? What are some habits and patterns that may be popping up in November for you? And how do I even know this? I know this because I notice. I notice within my own life what happens. I notice within nature how it happens. And I notice within many others how it happens. So I know this. And what I know for sure is that around November, there is many things going on as it relates to family. There is family, there's gathering, and there's food, and there's cold. And all of those brings a lot of mixture of emotional states. So I'm telling you, champion, I'm not coming on here because listen, it's going to be either a cold season or it's going to be a season where you are hibernating and bringing heat to the cold environment. It's a different mindset. It's a different mentality. So what I'm saying is you can either go by the season and be cold in it, or you can cultivate yourself in such a way where you build certain plans so that you can gather up the stuff that's going to keep you hot. You want to know, what is that, yo? How, Ed? What is it? What is it? I need you to take your self-care into priority. What are the components of self-care? We have your emotions, energies in motion. We have your physical body, which actually houses certain emotions. So we have the emotional states. You got your emotional body. You have your energy body. You have your physical body. You have your spiritual body. So self-care is not just, not saying I'm doing self-care to be somebody, but doing self-care to understand that you have many bodies and you want to bring alignment to those. So somebody know, what is the most effective way I can really take care of myself during the season? I need you to look at your routines and habits. How many times am I going to say that? So what can I do, Ed? I need to know, how do I plan for prosperity in November? I need you to look back at October. I need you to look back at last November. Somebody say, well, I don't have a journal. I didn't write what happened to me. Well, how can you find out? Scroll through your Facebook memories, scroll through some of your posts, scroll through some of your text messages, go back in memory lane and think about what happened in November. Not to bring them back up, but to realize what emotional states usually happen. Now, what come with cold season? Overindulgence, you feeling a lethargy, grief, sadness. So now those emotional states, let's say you've acquired and built them up all year. And then now you add a little cold weather. Now what is that going to do? It's going to a trigger. So now we're in the beginning of November. You have the holistic motivator in here telling you, get your ass outside. I'm telling you, start cultivating yourself. You start showing up to Rising Prime. Some of you just gonna go 1 year, you're not gonna come. But what I'm telling you is this: you start a routine. Let's say tomorrow. Now somebody says I'm gonna do it next week. Really? You gonna have a new week resolution now? Nah, we're not gonna do that. I'm not gonna set that from you. Allow me to keep you. I need to make sure that you're uncomfortable because this is gonna be your comfort. This is gonna dictate your comfort level. Nah, boo boo. Tomorrow, I need you to pick a time. Tomorrow, I'm gonna wake up at what time? You're like, well, I never woke up at that time before. Well, of course not. But you're gonna do it tomorrow. So okay. You say, all right, Ed, whatever, bro. You being so demanding here. Listen, I'm not here for me. I'm here for you. Tell yourself, I'm waking up tomorrow 7 a.m. I'm waking up tomorrow 8 a.m. I'm gonna do it. And when I wake up, I'm not gonna wake up just to go to work. I'm gonna wake up to work on myself, and then I'll take care of that work stuff. Cause I am important. My health is necessary. So what do? Well, what I would recommend you do is come to my meeting so you can learn how to create a routine, and you can decide I want to do it alone or I want to do it with the tribe. How do you do that? You go to holisticlifestyletribe.com and you join the Rising Prime. That is the most effective way. Plus, I'll let you know how to get rid of the emotional states. Plus, you're going to get this fire energy every single rising. That would transform your life more than anything. But like I said, a lot of people hear stuff. Well, I don't know how much it costs. How much is it going to cost you if you don't get rid of that worry that's stuck in your spleen? How much is it going to cost you if you don't get rid of the anger that's stuck in your liver? How much is it going to cost you if you don't get rid of the fear that's housed in your kidneys? How much is it going to cost you if your lungs are really affected during this season? How much is it going to cost you to not get the information that you need to detoxify your body so that way you don't experience the same thing over again? How much is that going to cost you? When somebody says, well, it's going to cost me sleep. Well, get your ass up. I don't care. You need to wake up. Listen, life is for living. You're going to have plenty of time to sleep. Like I tell you, we all going closer to the expiry date. And guess what? I'm looking to piss some people off today. Because guess what? I want you to realize how important this is. I want you to realize how significant it is that you start to take initiative to say, I'm going to prioritize my self-care in this season. So, planning for a prosperous November starts with your self-care. And like I said, I'm going to share my truth unapologetically. So I want you to write a couple of areas of your life that you've been slacking. Like, okay, I haven't been running or walking. I haven't been working on my physical body. I've been eating the food I shouldn't have been eating. I've been in a very moody state. I've been snapping and my emotions are out of whack. I'm not in a good state. Well, what haven't you been doing? And what have you been doing that you noticed that I shouldn't keep doing this? I've been eating a little bit too late at night. I've been eating a little extra sweet here and there. I've been having a little bit too many chips there. I've been back to this meat eating thing. I'm just not doing that well in this area. I need you to write those things down because these are the things that are going to change. A lot of people don't know that just by changing certain lifestyle choices, you can transform your life. This is why I'm here. This is my mission. This is why I'm here to remind you, right? So you say, oh, these are a couple of areas in my life that I'm slacking in. You have to acknowledge it. Somebody, well, man, I don't want to see the areas of my life I'm slacking in. What are you talking about? You need to know what you're doing so you can do better. Now, if you're at a point where you are completely in shame, maybe this isn't the episode for you. Go back to forgive yourself out of depression. I have those different parts. Okay, here's how the podcast goes, by the way. Each episode is a different delivery, right? Because you're in a different mind state. So when you go to my website, right, by the way, go to edtalksdaily.com, You're going to see different titles that may be relatable to where you're at. And then what I do with each episode, I take you from one level to another to develop the courage so you can get there. Now, this episode is for those of you who's already been doing the work with me probably the last couple of weeks. You've been tapping in by going to edtalksdaily.com. You already subscribed to the podcast, which means you're getting the email. So you tapped in all the way. Those people, you probably came from shame, you probably came from guilt, and you developed the courage. I'm talking to you at this point to say, hey, it is time to put it in plans and act on it. Ain't no more contemplating about it no more. It ain't no more like necessarily you being so kind and loving and nice to yourself for it. It's about you putting the fire behind your belt now. It's you saying, listen, I got to do this. I've been procrastinating. Look, I have a New Year resolution for 365 days. When are you going to resolve that? We need to resolve the conflict we have with not accomplishing our resolutions. So I'm telling you, make a determined effort, you're going to change your routine. Make a determined effort, you're going to change what you're eating, when you're eating, how often you're eating. You're going to start intermittent fasting. You're going to start juicing. You're going to start moving and doing the Qigong. What makes me so sad sometimes is that some people will like, willingly, they don't know necessarily what to do. And there's an opportunity for them to do it, but they're not willing to take the step. What more do you need? Like, let me ask you a question. Is the suffering not enough motivation for you to do this, to take the steps that you need to? Is the suffering not enough motivation? Like, is it not dreadful enough to wake up anxious every day? Like, is it not dreadful enough to wake up depressed all of the time? Is it not dreadful enough to be sad? Why would you continuously add on to the dread with habits and routines that's not serving you, with conversations that's draining you, with thought patterns that's keeping you in these loops? So what am I talking about? Planning for Prosperity November starts with self-care. Now, what is self-care? I told you, physical body, emotional body, energetic body. Now, what do you do with the emotional body? You could start journaling every single day. What if you woke up tomorrow at 7 a.m. you said, this is how I feel today? When I used to be a kid, I thought writing in journals was so gay. I don't need to apologize. That's the way I said it. I said, this is gay, right? That's how I used to think, right? Because I'm like, bro, why am I doing, because they created so why would they say that? Because there's a femininity to expressing yourself, right? It's part of tapping into your feminine nature. Now, as a male who is very sure of who he is in this world and what I have to offer, I'm not afraid to tap into my emotions because it does not make me weak. It makes me in tune. It gives me much more power that I can walk and operate the way I want to rather than being a little jit, right? That's what a jit does, and acting up, in anger and claiming that to be hard. But me expressing myself the way I can express myself to come to an understanding where I'm at, this is called maturity, and it's not gay, it's not sweet, and there's nothing wrong or feminine about journaling. So I don't care who you is, a guy, a girl, get your journal and start writing down how you feel. So you said, I can just write down how I woke up today, what's on my mind, what am I thinking about? This is not just for women, this is for guys too, okay? I'm saying this because some guy out there gonna be like, man, I don't tap into my emotions. Well, that's the problem. You got too much of them housed in you, now they're creating sickness in your body. Emotions create sickness in the body when you don't deal with them. So that causes tightness in your physical body. So self-care then also has to do with what? Releasing the tension in your physical body. So this has to do with massages. Qigong. Try Qigong.com is a solution, but you're going to go to it, you're going to come to the class, I'm going to show you how to get rid of both the emotions and the tension caused by the emotions. Come on now. So some of y'all like, when I'm going to, okay, I don't know what to say to you. So you want to come in and you want to try that. Try Qigong.com. Okay, if I don't see you there, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. Don't come to me 2 years, 3 years from now, okay? I'm just messing. I'm playing. All right? Y'all don't get in your feelings, Come on, all right? So here's our... So emotions, journal, breathe. I teach this to you. I can't teach it to you during the podcast. The podcast, I need to get you going. You want to do the work? You want to join the tribe? HolisticLifestyleTribe.com. You want to do the work? Come to the Qigong class. Try Qigong.com. This is where we do the work. This is the motivation to get your ass up. This is the motivation that's going to get you. Oh, tomorrow I need to get up. You know what? I need to start. I really need to prioritize it. So what else? Energy body. What is the best way of cultivating your energy body? Well, you have to look at what you are consuming, what you are assuming, and what you're letting continuously flow through your mind. This is going to have a dramatic effect on your energetic body, because your energies can be raised based on the frequency of what you consume, the frequency of the consumption of your thoughts, the frequency of the consumption of the food that you eat. Not just the frequency as in the energy and vibration, but the frequency, how frequent you energize your body with life-sustaining foods versus how frequent you destabilize the body with dead food that drains your energy. That is going to be to you. So somebody want to know, what is that, bruh? When are you going to give me all that information? Well, Rise and Prime, I've been telling y'all. But I'm going to give you some here. Starch. Over-consuming starch. Listen, first thing, you wake up in the rising. It's barely 9 a.m. You got starch. You got meats. You have eggs. Like, you have dairy. This is creating not a healthy environment within you. This is actually creating a sickness. Because you're breaking your fast with cemetery. And I done told y'all, today we're not going to keep it sweet. We're going to keep it straight up. Y'all down for that? Of course you are, because you want to grow. So I'm telling you, stop. You're not a cemetery. You're not a cemetery. Okay? You're not. You're a temple. Remember what the great one said? Your body is a temple. And if you want to raise your frequency and vibration, you got to treat it as such. Which means you don't let certain thoughts roam in that temple. You don't let certain foods come in that. You don't let some people, okay? You don't let some people come in that either. All right, 18 plus. Forgive me, Lord. All right, I'm just saying, your body is a temple, and you have to take charge of your temple. You can't let anything enter it. And the moment you start to say, hey, yo, I'm going to take care of my physical body, emotional body, and my energetic body, because I'm going to be conscious. I'm a conscious living being. I'm not just going to be like led by the strings of my habits. I'm going to create my habits. Yo, you have to intensify your desire to better your routine, habits, rituals. Like, you have to intensify it to the max. It has to become a priority to you. You have to put enough offense out in these seasons. Why? You have to cultivate you gotta be like the ants. Like, the ants will teach you a lot of lessons. They learn how to cultivate and gather so that when they can't cultivate and can't gather, they're good. So in this season, when you have more energy, when you have more enthusiasm, after you get some more motive, I need you to act upon this season, because there's a coldness. The winter is coming. Winter is not just coming as in a season. Winter is here. I'm talking about the winter in the Matrix. Listen, I'm not here doing a podcast because I'm like this crazy dude. No, I'm like, winter is around the corner and you need to get ready. And Netflix and chilling is not getting you ready. Winter is around the corner, and I need you to cultivate yourself. You need to learn how to garden. You need to learn how to eat healthy. You need to learn how to manage your emotions. You need to learn how to you need to learn spiritual. You need to get tools in your spiritual tool belt. There's a war against your spirit. And when all this stuff comes back around from your past experience of life, you want to be able to handle both what's inside of you, what's in front of you, and what is being propagated all around you. So what I'm saying is, December will bring about certain energies. And if you take your time now to say, oh, prosperity starts with my inner cultivation, what's going to happen is before you get to December or any winter, which is already pretty much here, you're going to be in such a way you cultivated yourself with the rising routine when you woke up early so much that you're not going to stay in bed because it's cold. That you've been eating so good that your body is not even going to crave certain sweet, creamy foods to make you feel a certain way because you would have cultivated that in you. You want to build certain habit and rituals now so intensely because I'm telling you, soon come it will be a time where you can find yourself not being able to do it. Now, I'm not putting that in your life. I'm generalizing this information because I understand how life goes with the seasons. All right? So I'm not saying I know what's going to happen to you. I'm not saying I know what's going to happen. I don't know none of that. I really don't. I got no clue. But I know that there are cycles in life. And I want to summarize it at this. Planning for prosperity in November, this whole episode, I didn't even talk about one doing to get closer to your business or your dream. I just talked about you. Prioritize yourself, your self-care, your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, and cultivate a sound energy body. Now, throughout the week, I'm going to be talking about more and more of this. So you want to keep coming back here at 9:30 a.m. on this Ed Talks Daily podcast, right? But let me tell you this. Some people will get here to listen, to get motivated, to get inspired, but I will never see them in the rising prime. They don't even know what that is. Listen, I want to invite you specifically. You watching, I see you, Norma, right? I see you. You want to watch it. I'm inviting you to go to risingprime.co. I want you to just come to one of those meetings. Because if you've been having trouble doing it on your own, maybe you just need a little spark. Maybe you just need a little motivation. Maybe you just need a little guidance. That's all I do, right? I ain't this person who knows it all. Like, I am learning every day. I got a lot of stuff I'm working on every day. But I learned the process of cultivating my being in a certain way that I can even come up here and have this energy. You know what I'm saying? That I can even keep coming up here when really ain't that much people watching or listening. But with that cultivation within me every day, I have a purpose that I wake up empowered. I wake up driven. And if I wake up feeling a certain way, I learned that I have the power to transform it. So that's why Rising Prime is so effective. So listen, I'm not going to say, well, maybe you can come. Maybe it will transform your life if you want to. I'm saying it's a must. I'm saying it's a must that you come to Rising Prime. It's not a if you want to. I'm telling you, it's a must. So go to riseandprime.co. Go do it right now. Don't wait. Like, oh, you know what? I'll do it another time. You know, I'll try it. All right, allow me to be full of myself. Y'all ready for it? One day, I'm going to be too big. I'm not going to be having Rising Prime. And you ain't going to be able to show up. And the whole process, you would have missed out on a deep relationship with powerful beings where you can have a closer growth. That's just how it is. A lot of people, they don't hop on something while it's like in its infancy, while it's smaller. They want to wait till it's like there. I want you to come to Rising Prime. Why? Because you're going to have a community of it's not just me, y'all. Today, I didn't even talk to Rising Prime. I showed the people in Rising Prime how to do Qigong, the exercises for the Qigong. I showed them the body drumming. Remember I told you how's emotional states in your body? Like, I literally can tell you certain exercises that's going to help you release the emotional state. That would be more beneficial than going to a doctor that will give you a drug. Like, I promise you. Like, the stuff I can show you can save your life. But a lot of people are like, yo, I don't even know. What is that? Rising Prime, No, go to riseandprime.co and sign up. Yes, I am promoting it. Because here's the point I'm at. If I'm going to be transparent with you, I'm disappointed in the amount of people shows up. And I'm not saying they should show up. And I'm like, yo, at this point, I'm like, yo, I have to be very demanding in getting this stuff out there because people need it. And I'm like, yo, if I'm going to show up every day and do this, why not be impacting the lives that need it? So I'm telling you right now, I have something for you that can transform your life if you let it. It's called Rise and Prime, part of the Holistic Lifestyle Tribe. And it's a daily rising routine that starts with mental health check-in. You got to check yourself before you wreck yourself. If you don't know where you started, you don't know how to prime yourself to be where you want to be or go to where you want to go. And then we do personal development. We do mental health check-in, personal development, and then we do mindful movement. What is this mindful movement that I'm talking about? We're talking about breathing, moving, self-massage, the body drumming. And then we do powerful affirmations at the end. So what I'm saying for you here is I want you to sign up before we leave here. I need to see notifications on my phone. Go to riseandprime.co, okay, and sign up. So by signing up, you're going to get a ticket with Eventbrite via your email where you can just come on Monday or Friday. That's when it's free. But let's say you say, you know what, I need to start my routine tomorrow, and I don't got time to wait for none of that. I am serious. I'm ready to give you my money. I'm ready to sign up for a month, and let's get it. Great. Let's do it. Go to holisticlifestyletribe.com. Join the community, which is more than the cause. This is your health support. You're going to get detox. You're going to get a detox every season. Not only are you going to get a detox every season, but you're also going to get access to the book club. You're going to get what I call office hours, where you could time in and have conversation with me about your holistic health and wellness. And you're going to get recipes. You're going to have different instructors come and teach different ways of moving. All right. So I'm pretty much done with my sales talk to you. And it's not just about selling you on Rise and Prime or selling you on the tribe. This is about selling you on yourself. This is just really about selling you on a new routine that could transform. I've seen so many people walk through Rise and Prime, and then after a couple of months, they say, yo, I was really depressed. Now I wake up at 7 a.m. every day. Like, yo, I was really anxious. Now I practice Qigong. Yo, I really wanted to start building my brand, but I didn't have enough confidence to start talking. Now I started showing up in the Zoom meetings. I started talking. Now I feel like I can actually communicate. Now I'm doing more videos. I've seen people like really jumpstart themselves within this year of launching the tribe, transforming their lives. All right. So I'm telling you, if you want that to be you, don't wait on it anymore. Right. Go to riseandprime.co and join a community of wellness entrepreneurs and seekers who come together and prime themselves to peak state, because this mission is way bigger than you. And to cultivate yourself every day will allow you to bring something out that the world has not experienced before. So if you want to be able, if you always waking up tired, sluggish, in a frenzy, you're like, yo, I don't even know how am I even getting through these days? I am telling you, go to riseandprime.co and sign up for the Rising Zoom call. Those of you who are like, yo, I'm ready to do the tribe. Like, why would the tribe work? Here's something. Today during the Rising Prime, there's a lot of women in the community, right? And like I said, I showed a couple of movements, and then I said, listen, y'all, go ahead and tap in. Go ahead and talk what you're talking about. Share your experiences. Go ahead and have a conversation within each other. Check in on each other. And I decided, you know, I wasn't necessarily going to talk. I was just going to be there. Just going to vibe out. And out of that interaction comes something amazing. Women supporting one another. And what that does for you is when you're able to give somebody else insight, you get more insight from that insight you gave them, because that comes right back to benefit you. So the more you're able to surround yourself with like-minded people and have different conversations, it's going to elevate you, and you're going to find yourself more inspired. So just hearing the stories of other people, man, it's going to transform a lot. Okay. So if you're still on the edge, yo, I don't know if I should join it. You're like, yo, what should I join? Like, just being able to have a 15-minute conversation about anything with me 4 times in a month is worth the whole monthly subscription. So what I mean is, imagine if you could come in and say, yo, Ed, I'm trying to lose weight, but I don't know how to do that. Or I need some help. Like, I can literally guide you through it, because I wear many hats. I wear many hats as a personal trainer, as a holistic lifestyle coach, as a Qigong master, as a motivational speaker, as an influencer, as an entrepreneur, as a podcaster. I wear so many hats that I have so many different ways I can add value to you. So joining the tribe not only gives you access to a community of women and men, not only give you access to the detox, not only give you access to the book club, not only give you access to master classes, not only give you access to continuous motivation, but it also gives you access to me to be your own coach. All right. So a lot of y'all, maybe you never had a coach before. Maybe you never had, like, I'm telling you, there is a power in the masterminding. Like, the reason why a lot of people don't elevate is because they only depend on their sole efforts. They never get around a community of people that can actually give them some insight, or that can actually motivate them. Sometimes by the very act of seeing somebody else do something you want to do becomes an inspiration for you to do it. And by the very act of seeing people make effort every single day, there's something about effort that is attractive, right? So you want to surround yourself with people that's going to elevate you. And here's the thing. If you are an empowerer, it is best that you surround yourself with those same empowered. A lot of people think, yo, just because I empower other people doesn't mean I can't be empowered. No. If you are a master battery that people plug into the charge, you know what I'm saying? You have to be able to plug into the source, but also you have to learn how to surround yourself with other battery packs, so that way iron sharpen iron, right? You could connect the different brain waves. And this is what it is. It's a high level mastermind. Because I know who I am. I'm a high level being, right? I'm a spirit. I'm here for a great purpose. I know where I'm going. I know I'm going to reach millions of lives. So my thing is, I want to surround myself with those same like spirits that are doing the same thing. So this is kind of why I created a community. I didn't create this community so I can teach. I created a community so I can have a support system to grow and develop. So that's why I tell people, yo, go get in the tribe for many reasons, right? One of the reasons is you're going to learn tools that's going to be priceless. Like the Qigong I be teaching, people underestimate the value of it. Like, if y'all know how Qigong can change your life, how you can literally prevent yourself from getting diseases with this, y'all be saying, Ed, how much is it? Y'all be like, man, I'll give you $300. Teach me everything you know. I don't even charge that. What I'm saying for you right now is, like, some people in your circle right now are the people you need to connect with and grow with, but you're looking at the 200,000 follower person. Guess what? When you go to a 200,000 follower or a million follower person, guess where you're going to end up? You're going to end up in a bigger pond. When you go to the person on the come up with the 5, with the 6K, with the 10K, what is that going to do? You're going to build more connected relationships. And guess what? Sometimes you don't need somebody at level 10 to tell you how to get to level 3. Sometimes you just need a level 5 to help you get to level 3. Because the truth of the matter is, we all have an expertise, but in our spirit, we're all level 10s. It's based on how you look at it. So what I'm telling you right now is, you want to type into the tribe, you want to join this community, you want to rise in prime with me, because I'm going to teach you some stuff that I am so grateful that somebody taught me, right? I'm going to teach you some stuff that you can then now remember, do them every day, and teach other people. If you're a healer, you want to be in this community, because just by learning how to body drum, you could take that and you could say, hey, I'm going to bring that to my community. Duh, think about it. If you're a healer, you're like, yo, I want to learn about the organs. I want to learn what emotions. I want to learn about the breathing. Why? Because you want to be able to bring that to your community. But better than that, you want to keep that for yourself. So more reasons to join Rising Prime, not just for the benefit you're going to get as an individual, but for the collective result that you're going to be able to do. Now, as this grows, what does this create? It also creates not just an environment for you to grow with other like-minded individuals, but an environment for you to offer your services to like-minded individuals. So by joining Holistic Lifestyle Tribe in the beginning, you're going to also get in a community where you can market what you have to offer to the people in the community. So now I host a community. I'm still in another community. And I'll get in more communities. Which means it doesn't matter whether you have your own community or whether you have your own group. You still need to be in an empowering environment that you say, man, I can actually take a lot from that. You know what? I can actually, I can learn from this guy. You know, Ed and I, we're still growing. We're all growing together, but there's something he knows that could benefit my life. You get what I'm saying? There's something he knows maybe I don't know. There's something you know that I don't know. I can benefit from what you have. You can benefit from what I have. This is what a potluck of ideas are. So, with all of that being said, y'all, I want y'all to go to risingprime.co and sign up. Come to the Zoom meeting, see what it's all about, and I promise you it'll make a dramatic difference in your life. And you will not regret that you made that choice to say, hey, you know what? Let me try to see what this guy has to offer. Let me try the Qigong. And he said, you know what? I can't do the weekdays at 7 a.m. Guess what? I got you. If I got you with a weekend class. And before I exit this podcast, I want to ask you all, how many of y'all, after you hearing my whole spiel, you hear about how amazing this community is, how many of y'all kind of like want to join? And if you want to join, I want you to comment, I'm joining. I want you to just comment that below, and then that will be the last thing. If one person today joins, just one person, right? Just one person. Say, you know what, I'm going to join. I'm going to try this out. I'm going to join you on Friday. I'm going to come to the Rise and Prime. We'll see what it's about. If you're going to join, I need you to comment that right now. Say, I'm joining. I'm joining. All right? I'm joining. So, with that being said, y'all, that is my message. I'm sticking to it. We're going to be Rise and Priming for years to come. And Rise and Prime is going to be a global thing all around the world. We're going to empower thousands of lives. And the people who come out of the Holistic Lifestyle Tribe are going to be some of the most powerful beings, some of the powerful leaders, because we would have built like one of the most authentic communities that is fueling you to grow. Man, let me get a horn for Norma. We got somebody joining, y'all. We got somebody joining. Let's get it. Where the horn at? Yo, where the horn at? Shout out to Norma. She already told me she's joining. Let's get it. All right. So I'm gonna see you in the Rising Prime, Norma. Trust me. This energy that you're gonna get in the Rising, it's gonna transform so much. Because those stuck emotional states are not serving you, right? Every day. They say it takes 21 days to build a habit. Somebody found out it took 66. What I found out, it does not just take days to build habits. It takes intention in the days. It takes consciousness. And to get that level of intention, you need to start with awareness. So if you do something first thing in the morning that's very aware, it's going to transform you. So who else is joining Norma and joining the tribe? Who's joining Norma and joining the tribe? Because Norma says she's joining. I'm not saying other people. I'm waiting here on Facebook. I see 2 people on Facebook. Who on Facebook saying, yo, you know what? I'm down. I'm down to join. You know what? I'm down. Guess what? Put me in it. Who's down? Comment that below. Yo, I am joining. I am joining. I am joining. I need that comment below right there. Comment, I am joining. Let's get it. So we have Norma. Norma's tapping in. So let's get it. So there we go. Let's get it, man. Rosalind said, come on, Norma. Rosalind just sent you some love. All right. So come on, you got to join other powerful beings. Literally. That's it, y'all. go to holisticlifestyletribe.com and get the full membership, and that's how I know you're serious. With that being said, powerful beings, listen. The key to prosperity in November is not just planning for what you want to accomplish. It is about planning for who you want to become. Now, what transformed my life was listening to powerful speakers over and over and over all day. I didn't necessarily bruh, this is so amazing. I used to yo, I wish I could do this. I was like, man, this is so helpful for me. I was going through I was so depressed. Like, I was sitting at home. I was like, yo, I have to move back home. My business done halfway failed. And then next day they came and took my car. And then now I'm not even in college no more. It's like I can't even go to school because I'm halfway kicked out. And I'm like, yo, was this it? Was I supposed to fail? Was this it? So for a month, I'm over here depressed, yo. I can't even get out of the bed. So I'm like, bro, how am I supposed to be a motivational speaker if when depression, when something like this happens, I'm stuck? I was like, yo, I can't possibly keep doing this work if this is how it's gonna be. So I changed my focus. I was like, you know what? Life is more than just, yo, getting motivation. Life is just more than accomplishment. I realized life has to be holistic. So I said, man, I'm living this wrong. I'm all about accomplishing. And I'm not just, I'm forgetting the being. So I picked up a book. I read The Power of Now. And the book, I was like, what? Oh man, it's not just about thinking and growing rich. Because those were the books I was stuck on so much. Was those business books, entrepreneurship books. I was on them. I was like on those business books. But I was like, yo, life is not just about building business, and it's building you. Then I have to rethink about my whole life. I was like, oh, I've been looking at this wrong. I've been spending all my time trying to figure out how to build the best business, the best company, and I was ignoring the business of my health. I was ignoring myself. And because I found out, I was like, oh, I got to make a determined effort. My name on Instagram was CEO Ambitionist. You could tell the difference. And I was like, this is the process of me becoming the holistic motivator, which is just a name, right? So I was like, oh, I had it all wrong. I thought that I'm going to be fulfilled when I become a great entrepreneur. I thought I was going to be fulfilled then I realized it is when I realized that I am here now. It's about experiencing life in its entirety. It's about being as pleasant here. It's about bringing myself out. It's about being a being that is impactful, that is loving. Now, trust me, we got to get to this bag. Why? Because it's how we run in this world. We do. But I'm putting more focus. Like, what's more important to me is how loving I am to my mother. What's more important to me is when's the last time I called my father. What's most important to me is how much did I keep my word. What's more important to me is what did I eat. What's more important to me is it's like, am I coming on social media giving you an empowering message, being like, yo, rah rah, motivational, and then I'm here by this person right next to me who's sad, and I'm not saying a damn thing to them. My goal in life is to be in one with my spirit more than it is to be in one with whatever else. And that came out because I was in a sad, depressed moment. I started to adopt different things. To get rid of the negative thinking, I listened to Jim Rohn. I listened to Tony Robbins. I listened to Les Brown. I listened to Eric Thomas. I listened, and I spoke. I listened, and I spoke. And I wondered, when would I be as great as them? And I realized that I was just expressing yourself. It's not a matter of getting as great as them, but it's a matter of really realizing how great you are, and then stepping into your own voice, and then you start to realize, oh, this whole thing was creating something here. And that's how this created something out of it. And it was like I had a job at Dunkin' Donuts for like 5 a.m. I hated that job. I hated it. I'm like, why am I working here? But I needed to learn how to wake up at 5:30 because I always had the trouble of waking up at 7. I woke up at 6:40 and I had to rush, get my clothes on before I run to my 7 o'clock client. This is how I lived my life. I was literally, I'm up. I was still up early bird because I was still waking up before 7. But as you can tell, I have higher, I need to do better, right? So I'm like, all right, I can't keep waking up like this. So little by little, what changed my life most was the job I hated. So I'm working at Dunkin' Donuts. I had to get up for that work. So now it became a habit. Now I developed a habit of waking up at a certain time. So I started running, and then I was like, man, I'm stressed and anxious a lot because I used to be so stressed and anxious about my future. I was so stuck on the root chakra, and I didn't realize how much I was going up the levels. I was so focused on survival that there were a lot of things that didn't fly so much because I was so worried about survival. I was worried about what's gonna happen to me, what the future holds. I was like, my credit is shot. I'm never gonna get a house. No woman is ever gonna want me. I was homeless. I was this. I was that. It's done for me. So all those thoughts accumulated, just kept bringing havoc to my body. My posture was a certain way. My face looked a certain order. Now I want you to look at my face. I look at my face. I see peace. I see more clarity. But I looked at my face a couple years ago. I see a lot of pain. I had a lot of like, ugh, a lot of ugh. Even my body was like, ugh. But I started to do different things. Now, I told you, I didn't just start doing these things. I've been doing these things for like years, over 3-4 years now. And then I realized that as I woke up, I was creating so many things. I was building new habits. I was making these podcasts. I started meeting interesting people. I started doing shows. I got an opportunity to be on TV. Then I got kicked off the air. I got an opportunity. I'm like, yo, I'm doing all these amazing things that I never thought I could have done. My self-image started to shift. And I started to keep listening to powerful words. Because I realized that even though spiritually I was inclined, I was like, oh, this is me. Oh, this is real. I discovered who I really was. But then there was a part of my brain that kept coming up and saying, no, you're not. So I had to find out how to fight that part of myself. And I realized to fight it was not to fight it. It was to affirm the truth about me. And sometimes my own words was not effective because it was so negative. It was like, man, why did you mess up this? Why did you do that? Look at you, you're a horrible person. Look at you, you're a horrible son. You're a horrible person. Do better. Do better. Do better. And then I started to hear like Jim Rohn. He said, it's not what you get, it's who you become. It's like worry is fear painting mental pictures in your mind of defeat. If you keep looking at that movie for too long, you'll start to believe that that's all for you. And then he would say it in such a very smoothing way. I'm like, who is this Jim Rohn guy? He's not all hyped up all the time. I'm like, yo, this guy's pretty cool. And I fiend on Jim Rohn. I listen to it all day. No music, no TV, no Netflix, just that. I listen to it so much that now I'm doing the very thing. And there was a time when I used to be like, yo, I feel like I'm in the category of these men. Like, I don't know why I felt like that, but I always, since a kid, I always felt like this. And, you know, some people like ego, whatever, but whatever the heck you want to call it. All I want to tell you is I have greatness within me. I'm going to do great things. With my words, I'm going to touch millions of people's lives. Like, people are going to hear this and be like, yo, I need to transfer. Some kid is going to hear this 5-10 years from now. I'm never going to die. But it was out of this pain that I just said, let me shift something in my life. And I took a step. And I realized there's more shifts I got to shift. And I stepped into some more shit. I kept shifting. I kept shifting. Every day I'm going through some stuff right now, but I'm shifting, I'm getting better. In the midst of your shift, you gotta keep doing the work. So now somebody said, yo, I've always seen you make videos. Yes, when I was homeless, when I was in college failing, when I was in the process of learning the Qigong, when I was just a trainer, when I had the information that was not necessarily the best, when I was like at every stage of my life, I am sharing who I am, who I'm becoming, and it's enough. And I'm like, yo, oh, now I get it. And now that I look back, I'm like, this was very exciting. Like, this is exciting. Somebody's like, oh, okay, but you're just here talking to the camera, and why is it exciting? Because this is me. First of all, this is me, which means it's very exciting because I get to be me. When you go to a job you don't like, it's because you don't get to be you. You have to you have to be a title, and that sucks. And I know how that feel. Like when I was working at a job, I'm like, man, I'm literally a caricature. They don't even see me. And it was like, I'd walk and like, you know, just like different people engaging with you. And like, man, only if they knew who I really was, they probably ask me, they probably have a different conversation. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gassing my head or anything. It's just that sometimes when you're at a job, you have to literally, you have to be what they want you to be. In a way. But my perspective in those jobs was always this is not where I'm going to be at forever. This is just a part of what either God has to teach me something, or it's just something I'm doing to sustain while I do what I really want to do. And I always had these things to sustain me, but I just keep living in my purpose. Now this purpose is creating a collection of work. If I am to pass today, I have a collection of work that will live on. So you want your life to be a collection of work. And the way that you do that is by letting each level of pain be a new transformation for you. Like I told you, every time I dealt a different pain, I coped with it a certain way. Then I realized coping didn't work for me. So instead of coping, I realized I needed to start acting and start adopting new philosophies, new ways of thinking, new habits and rituals. Like Rosalind said, you got to build your health first. Build your health first. Come on, y'all. Where my horn at? Yo, like I said, I have a blast doing these. Listen, I love to see y'all in person. You know, I love to see you on a Zoom meeting. Come and do this work with me every day, right? Let's keep growing, keep adding value to one another. So that's why I invite y'all to do the Rising Prime, so you come to the Daily Rising Call. And I want to remind you that you have greatness within you. Okay. I heard this from Les Brown. That's what I'm about to tell you. And I started to believe it. And he said something that was so powerful. He said, listen, sometimes somebody else have to believe in you until your belief kicks in. And I was like, yo, that's deep. Because I would hear this guy say, it was hard, it was difficult. I made it. It was like I slept in my office room. I said, I lost my car. I lost this and that. I wanted to buy my mother a home. I'm like, well, that's me. He was talking to my soul. And I kept believing. So I want to remind you that if you keep the power of belief, but you take the steps with that belief, man, can't nothing hold you back. Because you have a greatness within you. You got something special. Like really special, like you're a beautiful being. You get what I'm saying? Like there's nothing wrong with you. Now there are some things you can improve, but there's nothing wrong with you as a spirit. God has endowed you with greatness. There is a purpose for your life. And it doesn't have to be crazy. It doesn't have to be like, yo, oh boom, big purpose. It don't gotta be nothing. Your life, its own, is a purpose. Your being here is a purpose. Somebody says, what's my purpose? What's my life purpose? The purpose is your life. So bring your life out here. Bring life to rooms you walk in by cultivating yourself a certain way, that you bring certain energy and aura. That like people come into your space, they're like, oh man, I'm living out a little bit empowered. Like, what is with this person? What is that going to do? Why? Somebody says, why? I ask you, why not? Why not? Why not live life beautifully? Why not live life in joy? Why not enjoy it? Why not appreciate? Why not be in gratitude and bliss? Why show you keep enduring suffering? You have to believe that the possibility to transform your life is in your hands. And when you take hold of that, you're going to transform stuff. Now, guess what? It's not going to be all fun and games. You're going to go through some stuff, man. But every time you come out of it, it's going to be a different light, baby. So remember, let your light shine. Don't hide it. Don't dim it. Listen, don't hold yourself back from the world any longer. What you think you should be and who you choose to be are two different things. Make a choice to be the best version of yourself. Make a choice to align yourself with the divine. Make a choice to trust your intuition. Make a choice to say, hey, I'm going to level my life. Make a choice to choose yourself. Make a choice to make your self-care a priority and watch everything transform. That's my message, and I'm sticking to it. It's the holistic motivator, and I'm unapologetic in myself, and I invite you to do the same. Until that happens, the world will forever miss all your talents, all your gifts, and all the great things you got to offer. So remember, let your light shine, don't hide it, don't dim it. Be yourself, because everybody else is taking it here. I love y'all.